Man, oh man, finish work sucks. Hey, what's going on, everybody? EXO coming at you here, just ringing in the new year with a nice, exciting episode. We have got a buttload of stuff to share with you today. Hope you had a nice, relaxing holiday full of good food, good times and whatnot. Things are looking mighty fine if I do say so myself. As you already know, we're in the process of building a massive car audio system with 12 18-inch subs. And with a dozen 6,000 watt mono blocks to cram in back here, a lot of the small stuff was important to consider beforehand. So in our last video, we tackled the tedious job of installing custom LED strips. With some cool little tricks along the way, each strip got mounted individually behind the amp rack, hiding any trace of them even being there. Unfortunately, however, the final wiring job was cut short last time. Had some special deliveries not show up, so to catch up and keep the ball rolling, I just took it upon myself to have at it. Here's what we got done since then. Instead of using the 3-spot terminals in 4 different places to wire the LEDs, I just combined each one into a single 12-spot terminal. Mounted it right at the base of the amp rack to use our original home runs rather than switching to a longer daisy chain, you know? Again, another example of thinking things through and finding a better option. The left side power supply also got a quick change. Instead of 2 25-watt units stacked, I decided to swap out to a single 50-watt unit. Mainly because this area is way more cumbersome, as you can see. I was supposed to save 2 of these suckers for the doors up front, but I'll pick up another one down the road. A lot of people were concerned about the spray paint though. Last time we added some black and the worry seemed to be overheating. Although I can definitely see that when scaled and critical, this situation is super lightweight. I actually ran these suckers for like 3 hours straight the other night, and they stayed nice and cool. This very same housing is actually used in several wattages up to 75, so the 25s and 50s don't really heat soaker. From there, of course, these stinking white wires from before got sleeved up with some nice black Tech Flex. No more eyesore. Just use some simple nylon wire clamps to route them right down the wall. Real clean. Then the next big thing was designing a control center that fit inside my existing electrical box. Whew, took quite a bit of time, but if you remember my high-low speed control video, I used a lot of the same methods. But instead of switching a high draw with relays, this is all low draw with switches. There's a music controller for the bass, mids, and highs to match the beat. There's a Wi-Fi controller to have more standard light patterns. Then all those data wires get routed to a double stack of signal boosters. And from there, the leads go to a custom switch box on the outside where I can manually swap back and forth between the settings. Pretty sweet. Again, huge props to my buddy Blake Hunt for inspiring me. I would have never done all this without seeing his van back in 2019. But for what it is, even so far, I am beyond pumped with the results. So let's go ahead and show you a quick little teaser of what she looks like playing some music. Not too shabby, huh? A fully fledged amplifier rack, oh yeah. Now there's just one more final thing to settle. Will the LED strips fall off when the bass hits? Seems like a couple people were like, uh-oh. So let's go ahead and take the good old dead blow and simulate some repeated shock force and see what happens. All right, man, that's actually a lot harder than it looks. Let's go ahead and take a look at the damage here. It looks like, oh man, those magnets, people don't give them enough credit, man. Those things are strong. There we go, no movement, no falls. Everything stayed nice and strong. These magnets are freaking crazy, man. There's even warnings on the labels about their strength. So I'm confident to go full blast on the bass, no problem. Now, while watching this, you may have already noticed something else new in the background. Here is my hidden subwoofer wiring solution. Going into this section, I already knew the amount of wires for 12 subs would be a challenge to run clean. The urge to tuck them underneath or maybe wrap them all up into a big bundle with sleeving had to be put to the side. No shortcuts here. So here's how it all came together. I didn't burn the motor out. This is my old Ryobi from Robbie. Oh no. She looking good. Plenty of space for the 4-gauge OFC. Hidden wiring, here we come. Another area I went ahead and tackled were the preliminary steps to our battery bank build. What you're looking at is a whole bunch of lithium cells balancing. Over a week they've been sitting in parallel, and as it sits right now, we are dead balls matching across the board. But like I've already mentioned, it takes 6 cells to make up a single bank, so there's really 20 in parallel below the amp rack. That's 800 amp hours of super safe LTO, baby. Oh yeah. As far as balancing the cells, there's really nothing to it. Just laid down some aluminum on the floor to connect all the positives of one side and all the negatives of the other. The 8-footers couldn't hold them all, so I just repeated again and jumped them together with beefy alligator clips. Sure, it may take a lot of time waiting around doing nothing, but a well-balanced set of cells is crucial for a healthy bank. So if you're looking for these cells, check out the Showtime store below and use your EXO code to save some cash. Up next, I wanted to start working on the subwoofer box again. All the ugly screw holes are still sticking out, so I knew it was high time to bite the bullet and break my back again. The underside came out like $1,000,000 after all, so it's only fair to sweat it out on this one just as hard, right? I will say there's definitely more work on the upper chamber though. Right in the face. Man, oh man, finish work sucks. So much friggin' elbow grease, I'm telling you. We got a hefty application of filler though, pretty much all over. I'll keep knocking her down with the sander, but man, this is definitely not my favorite. And you know what? That's okay. Everyone's different, we all got our preferences. Makes me think about when Remy came over the other day wanting to swap back to smaller subs, like, what? I almost kicked him out right then and there. Oh my gosh, I can already hear all the comments coming your way. There's gotta be a rhyme or reason, so tell us why you're swapping back.
I know, I'm gonna hear. All right, so because we had the SMLs in here first, I really liked how they sounded in this particular box. I was used to it digging down to 25, 26, 27 hertz. Like it sounded great. Issue really comes from when I actually put the SA subs in here and realized that the tuning frequency for the box was 35 hertz.
From the get-go, it was 35 hertz?
From the get-go. They just didn't have as low of a punch built to the spec that this box was built to. Straight out SPL, the SAs are louder. This vehicle isn't for, SPL or doing anything crazy. The biggest thing also was space. Like you saw how hard it was getting this box in and out, and I really didn't want to have to go through the whole entire process of doing a whole nother box and it being a whole nother 2
yeah, and people know already about that paint job right there. We'll get us started on that right there, so.
Yeah, it just ends up being better like for me. And at the end of the day, we can do something else in the Yukon.
Ideally, it looks like you would have wanted a lower tuning right right from the get-go, just something custom for your needs.
Yeah, because when we put these subs in, it just really wasn't getting the 26, 27 hertz like I thought it would with the tuning at 35 hertz for the SA subs.
Yeah, it doesn't blow my mind though, because I think that's the exact spec on the website, so maybe he was just trying to play it safe on that one, you know. I mean, it makes perfect sense when you think about it. He got used to the slight lower extension of having more airspace in the box. Oh shit. Plus a more compliant woofer. Either way, despite the box being spec'd for the SAs at 35 hertz, it's still perfectly fine for the SMLs too. It'll just drop the tuning a little bit, just like how Remy noticed and really liked. Even more, they're actually rated up to 1.25 cubes, so at least the box isn't too big. But you know my curiosity, so I ran an impedance sweep to get the box tunings both before and after. Yep, and our train of thinking's going the right way, man, because even right out of the gate, what was it, down to 32.5 hertz from 35? So yeah, he might not be as loud anymore, but at least he's still on the horse, dang it. Dropping close to 3 freaks can be the difference of a hard plunge at 30 hertz versus 27. So I guess Remy's not so bad after all. I don't blame him for not wanting a bigger box. Building it, painting it, all those cool looking decals, he's a fast car kind of guy. But if he did keep the SAs, a box tuned to 30 hertz would be about mint for his taste. But that would mean a bigger box, more weight, another paint job, decals. Oh gosh, I'm starting to see Remy's side, man, swapping subs. You can't extend the port because it takes up volume. You can't shrink the port because it'll choke the subs. Someone would literally have to come in the middle of the night and invert them because I know he'd love to have 0 trunk space. I'll hide myself in a corner when he finds out that one. All jokes aside though, swapping back fits the bill. Plus, subs tend to drop a few frequencies more after a while, so I'll be interested to see how much more it changes down the road. But it definitely sounded deeper. That one, I was waiting for the 25, and when it came in, it filled it. That was lacking. That was lacking before, so I don't blame you, dude. I need that 25.
And I mean, the SAs were so much stronger at like mid-range.
40 hertz around there.
Yes, it was really just the lows that I was missing.
Yeah, well, that extra little bit of box volume makes it a little bit more efficient. Now you are at what, 2 ohms now also, so I think it's better for your preferences all around, man.
Agreed.
Yep.
School.
Well, this is probably about as fun as it looks. Oh my gosh, the monumental task of sanding. My joints are already freaking yelling at me. Stuff like this, it doesn't get enough attention. Well, who would really want to film this again and again? But it's this stuff that kind of adds up and adds so much work to an install. Just this one part could take freaking ages, and I'm gonna take my time on it, but in the meantime, you may have already noticed something else sticking up there, maybe in our couple past videos. We got our RCA distribution box from good old Scott Bowman. 1 RCA in, 12 out, all for our dozen amplifiers, and it's always done the trick, so I'm really happy to have another one of those on hand. Now you're probably wondering, who the heck won our awesome little EXO Christmas special giveaway with some yin-long banks. Friggin' Showtime stepped up to the plate. I reached in for another couple banks personally to say thank you guys for what, 15 years almost? I can't even do the math of awesome viewership and support. You guys are the best. The winner of our first bid from Showtime is Sneakers and Supercars, and the 2 bonus winners from me are Pained Inks and Drew Anderson 8279. Thank you guys for making me smile. So I'll keep working on all the boring stuff over here, and in the meantime, maybe you guys can help me with this one other decision, which will really help for starting our next video. Battery bank first or amplifiers first, as far as installing? I don't know which best space shavings wise. I don't know, I'm kind of spacing on that, so maybe some of your suggestions can help us get there a little bit more simply. So until the next video, this is EXO signing out. Thanks again for all your awesome support, checking out the Showtime store, and just being all around awesome. Oh, I just broke my mask and I was making out with it. I can taste it. Uh-oh. The toxicity of the city's hitting in, guys. I gotta get out of here. I don't know what's going on. I will talk to you in the next one.